Yes, gentle people, I'm still alive. Just because I didn't do any reactions or any videos Sunday gone, I'm still alive. Wagwan, Sanji Uchiha here, friendly neighborhood Uchiha. Of course, it's that time of the month again. If you're new here, what we do our monthly expectations and predictions video before the latest chapter of Boruto drops. And I know by the time this goes up, the spoilers should be out and all that jazz and blues, but since I tend to live react to the chapter, I tend to stay away from in-depth spoilers. If it's like surface level stuff, I'll probably take a look, but you know, it is what it is. And you know, yeah, but yo, welcome back to the channel everyone, and I hope everyone's having a great day for the most part, new night, whenever you're listening to this. So Boruto Chapter 65, and it's a very interesting week for the chapter to actually drop, because it should be dropping on Monday after Jump Festa, which is bound to be a stream of announcements and news when it comes down to not just Boruto but Bleach and you know a lot of other shonen series. So it's going to be an interesting time going into 2022 and you know ending the year with this final chapter, chapter 65. But enough blabbering. Chapter 65 itself, my personal predictions for this chapter. Now, disclaimer, I haven't seen any spoilers just yet. The only thing that I've personally seen or glimpse is just due to the the YouTubers that I'm subscribed to, like your Neverworld or Naruto Explain, who you know probably I'll see that I've seen like his thumbnail and title for his like his latest video. That's all. So I'll definitely be factoring those into this month's predictions and expectations. So there's pretty much that. Now, going into chapter 65 now, guys, like, yo, I'm not gonna lie, it's going to be a very interesting time because we have, for the first time since, what, chapter 53, 54, Naruto is actually touching back onto the field along with Shikamaru. I did do a Shikamaru death theory discussion video a few weeks back. You can definitely check that out. But yo, Naruto and Shikamaru touching the field, which is going to be very interesting. And to kind of just open up the floor for discussion, even though it's a predictions video here, I just want to say that yo, between Naruto, Shikamaru, we have Kawaki and Boruto, who you know after tapping into his karma level 2 controlled, seemingly is having some reaction, because we ended last chapter with him basically seemingly having some sort of heart attack, chest pain, and of course Quote is still on the field. Now, in terms of what's going to happen, I'm going to throw out a wild curveball theory, or you know point of discussion here. I mean, I'm kind of expecting for some reason, maybe on their way to the battlefield, that Naruto and Shikamaru actually just for even a short while, and I know this might not happen, just bump up into Kosh and Koji, maybe exchange a few words, who knows. I know it's wild, and I'm actually in the long term of things, I'm not expecting Kosh and Koji to show up until after this current conflict with Code is actually settled and done. So yeah, but I think it's a wild enough kind of thing to throw out there. It would be interesting to kind of start planting. I mean, we've already started planting the seeds of emotional conflict with, you know, Naruto kind of questioning Amado back when Kosh and Koji was fighting Ishiki, like, yo, his fighting style is different, you know, it seems familiar, you know, stuff like that. So we've already started planting the seeds, but I actually want just a bit more breadcrumbs, just a bit more seeds planted towards that emotional conflict, and just kind of bumping into Kosh and Koji. Who knows, maybe, I don't know, it would be an interesting setup, but just for a short time so that it doesn't take away from the fact that Naruto's heading to the field. No, to kind of continue and pull over expectation I had for last month's chapter when it comes down to Boruto, I kind of expect him to again potentially have like an inner dialogue moment when it comes down to him and Momoshiki, potentially some, you know, Naruto Kurama-esque kind of interaction in his internal world, maybe just maybe. And of course laying the groundwork for seeing if the Byakugan suppressing pills, how they're going to interact with him going forward. Is it going to set up the, I guess, the play-by-play for how we expect Boruto's, you know, power pool, set of skills, set of what we can expect in terms of like consequences and advantages when it comes on to Boruto's power going forward as he continues to use the karma in really while taking the Byakugan pills, you know, like, basically what I'm saying, you get an understanding back in the old Naruto days where, of course, the more Naruto uses the Nine Tails, it seems like it's getting progressively worse until the Nine Tails might escape. Establish the consequences and advantages of Boruto using that power going forward, and just basically get an idea of the stakes when it comes on to Boruto beyond just, okay, Momoshiki is steadily taking over my body, but when it comes on to using it in combat, what can we expect? What kind of stakes, what kind of tension can we expect? And as a result of that, how is that going to affect choreography for Boruto and his future fights going forward? So it's going to be interesting going forward. And I think when it comes down to the Byakugan Pills, maybe in the chapter we'll get something calling back to Amado, maybe just a bit more on him. Now, taking into consideration the thumbnail and title I saw from Naruto Explained, I mean, it does seem, and when I think about it now, it wouldn't be too surprising if we see Kawaki and or Boruto unlock something more when it comes down to their respective Otsutsuki's Otsutsuki's DNA that they've inherited, essentially. Because I wouldn't be surprised if it comes down to it where tension and a lot of emotional stakes and stuff kind of help bring out the latent abilities of the Otsutsuki DNA that they have. And of course, we know that Kawaki has Isshiki Otsutsuki's DNA, and as a result, he has the potential, logically speaking, at least until further confirmed, he should be able to unlock most of Ishiki's abilities. You can imagine Isshiki with can you imagine Kawaki with Ishiki's Daikokuten and Sukuna Hikuna? Hopefully I pronounced that right. So the possibilities are endless is what I'm saying. And who knows, maybe through this whole conflict right now, because with Boruto on the ground, and it depends on how long Boruto is going to be out of commission for when it comes on to this chapter, things might really fall back on Kawaki, and that might escalate into Kawaki having to take center stage and him unlocking something else. Maybe not. Now, I'm actually not expecting too much from Aida in this chapter, probably just a bit, but yeah, I'm expecting to focus on everybody else mainly. I haven't checked out, not even Organic Dinosaurs percentage breakdown of the upcoming chapter. I haven't even checked that out as I would usually do, so I have no idea. So this is just my guess going into the chapter. But I know one of the main things, again, even coming back from Boruto and Kawaki, a lot of persons want to see Naruto touch the field, want to see him go up against Code, and with even Sasuke out there again, Kishimoto had him a few chapters, like more than a few chapters back. He was outside, he's on his own little mission, his own little way of tracking down Code. I actually see Sasuke and Naruto eventually coming to the field. Of course, Naruto probably before, but I'm expecting at least by 3/4 way, if not by the end of this chapter, that Naruto is going to show up. And I think I'd rather like 3/4 way rather than the end, because I know if it comes to the end, a lot of persons may or may not complain about the pacing. So yeah, and again, I would think since information regarding Jump Festa is going to be dropping before this chapter drops, if I got my timeline correct, that more than likely might influence my predictions when it comes on to this chapter to a degree. Granted, I'm not gonna do an update video, but yeah, but it might affect the timeline of things, maybe. So it's going to be interesting to see how that turns out. But with Naruto and Sasuke potentially touching the field, it's going to be interesting to see what they can do. Again, I've done I don't think I did a dedicated discussion video when it comes on to this, but again, it's important that we actually get to see Naruto and Sasuke do something. They don't have to take the spotlight from Kawaki and Boruto, but again, this whole conflict with Code right now is a perfect opportunity to not only establish what Naruto and Sasuke can do in the eyes of us, the audience, who more often than not are saying that Naruto and Sasuke are nerfed, but it also can lead into Naruto and Sasuke getting that motivation to say, yo, we need to take some, I wouldn't say drastic, but we need to start taking some measures to ensure that we're still competent going forward when it comes on to this conflict, because no matter how this conflict ends, no matter how you slice and dice it, based on the information that will be presented to Konoha after that, Amado is going to figure out that, yo, Aida is still alive, and that's going to change everything. So that potential revelation after this conflict, in conjunction with Naruto and Sasuke potentially getting a showcase, getting a feel of what they can still do when it comes down to the current conflict, it could set the foundation for Naruto and Sasuke to still maintain their skills, or try something new, start integrating something new, so they can still remain relevant in the story going forward, without still balancing it, without taking away from Boruto and Kawaki, who will be the two main guys going forward. So that's pretty much pretty much what I'm expecting. So Naruto and Sasuke definitely for this chapter, maybe. Probably might get Naruto versus Squid, probably a bit of scuffle, maybe. But I guess we'll see how it ends up. But anyway, that's my little discussion, prediction, expectations video chapter 65. Again, I know the spoilers should be out for the most part by the time this video goes up, so I won't take up any more of you guys' time. Of course, let me know what you thought about this. Don't leave any spoilers of me live reacting to the chapter, of course. And look forward, I do plan to do a little expectations video for Jump Festa, hopefully by tomorrow, today, hopefully it's not too late, because I don't want it to be a case where I put up the video and the news are already started coming out and all that. So yeah, but anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. The last weekend was hectic, hence why no reaction to the board. I haven't even watched the Boruto episode just yet, much less, so it's crazy, I know. But anyway, thanks for tuning in. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next Boruto video.